If you search St. Paul's pros and cons on the internet right now, you'll see and you'll get the same video. Same stuff, same takes. That's why today I'm giving you the real thing. I know a lot of people who live in St. Paul, and I've worked with a bunch of them too. So I'm going to reveal what they actually say once they've been there for a while. So 5 things that are really, really great about St. Paul. And 5 things that'll drive you kind of crazy. Not going to sugarcoat either side of this conversation. Con number 1, quieter nightlife. So let's start with something most people don't figure out until they've already been living in St. Paul. St. Paul is a lot quieter than Minneapolis. It can be very quiet, especially at night. You can't even hear the crickets. Now, all kidding aside, don't get me wrong. There are great bars. The West 7th area near Grand Casino Arena has some really good spots. Patrick McGovern's, Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub, and Bad Weather Brewing, just to name a few. Downtown St. Paul also has Amsterdam Bar and Hall. That place has been one of the best music spots in the cities for a long time. But here's the thing. If you want a lot of late night options, clubs, or tons of choices in one place, you're probably crossing that river to the west. That's just the honest truth. St. Paul has more of that come home and relax kind of feel. Some people love that. Others find it hard to get used to. So make sure you think about how you like to spend your nights before you pick this city. But don't worry, because later I'll show you some fun activities that you'll find over in St. Paul. So pro number 1, historic architecture and charm. So here's something St. Paul does better than almost anywhere else in the entire country. Summit Avenue is the longest stretch of old Victorian homes in the whole entire United States. We're talking 4.5 miles of pure majesty and beauty, in my opinion. It runs from the Cathedral of St. Paul all the way west to the Mississippi River. You'll find Queen Anne, Romanesque, Tudor, and Prairie-style homes. The kind of homes that stop you in your tracks when you drive by. Believe it or not, around 85% of those homes still look the way they did when they were originally built. The American Planning Association named Summit Ave one of the 10 greatest streets in America back in 2008. So that's a pretty big deal. Neighborhoods like Summit Hill, Cathedral Hill, and Mac Groveland have that same feel. Tree-lined streets, older homes, and a real sense of place. A lot of cities tear that kind of stuff down for new buildings. St. Paul has held on to it. That means a lot to a lot of buyers. So con number 2, limited new construction. But here's the trade-off to this. That same love for old buildings really makes it really hard to find new homes in St. Paul. The city cares a lot about keeping things historic. So it's tough to build modern new homes here. Now, you definitely see them from time to time, but there's not a lot of them. If you want a brand new home with new finishes and open floor plan, you're going to have a tough time finding it in St. Paul. Now, the St. Paul Downtown Alliance did launch a big plan at the end of 2025. They want to reshape the future of the downtown area throughout 2026 and beyond. So things might change down the road, but right now, new construction options here are low compared to other Twin Cities suburbs and cities. Make sure you know that before you start looking, especially if a new build is a must-have for you. By the way, if it's info on housing you're looking for, we can help you with that. With over 25 years of experience, we love finding the absolute best spot for clients. So reach out via any of the contacts that are right down below. We'll be waiting for your message. Also, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. It will really help us continue to make these videos and get them out to people just like yourself. So pro number 2, abundance of parks and green spaces. Now, this one really surprises people. St. Paul has a great outdoor lifestyle that most folks don't expect. For instance, Como Park Zoo and Conservatory is free. every single day, 365 days a year. They have sea lions, giraffes, big cats, gorillas, and a big plant conservatory. Most cities charge a lot of money for that kind of thing. Then you've got Harriet Island Regional Park right on the Mississippi River. Walking trails, a marina, a riverboat, and a great view of the city from the water. Connected to all of it is the Mississippi National River and Recreation Area, a 72-mile stretch of protected land running through the Twin Cities. For biking, St. Paul has over 200 miles of bike paths and lanes all over the city. The Greenway State Trail starts in St. Paul and goes about 18 miles out. So if you like to bike, walk, or just get outside after work, St. Paul has really good options for that. Later on, I'll touch on even more stuff you can do after work. But let's change gears a little bit. Con number 3, potholes and road construction. Okay, make sure you're ready for this one. Potholes in St. Paul, they're a real thing. It's no joke. I'm not exaggerating at all, trust me. There's a real problem that people who live in St. Paul bring up all the time. The ground freezes here and thaws and freezes and thaws and freezes and thaws every winter. That breaks up the roads and it does it in a bad way. Every spring and frankly throughout the winter it shows. In early 2026, St. Paul reported more potholes than normal. The city put out new equipment and a new plan to fix it faster. On top of that, MnDOT has over 200 road and bridge projects planned for 2026 across the state. A lot of them go through St. Paul. The I-35E bridge over Shepherd Road, Highway 5, and Highway 280 are all in the mix and getting repairs done to them this year. Grand Avenue only reopened in October of 2025 after 6 months of road work. That hurt a lot of local businesses, unfortunately. So, if you move to St. Paul, orange cones are just a part of the deal. We'll be going back to this in a minute, but give yourself a little extra time to get places, especially in the spring and summer. There's really only 2 seasons in St. Paul: winter and road construction. So pro number 3, diverse and award-winning food scene. The food in St. Paul, it's no joke. It's really good food. Muriel on Cleveland Avenue is where Chef Karen Tomlinson won the 2025 James Beard Award for Best Chef in the Midwest. Think of that like the Oscars, but for food. A St. Paul restaurant won it too. Samucci's was also named a 2025 James Beard semifinalist for Outstanding Hospitality. It's a neighborhood Italian spot that people just keep going back to. Hmong Village on Johnson Parkway has over 200 vendors, believe it or not, all on one roof. And it's open every day. One of the most unique food spots in the entire country. Hmong Town Marketplace is in a different spot with over 200 vendors itself, including a bunch of restaurants serving Southeast Asian food. Grand Avenue has Cafe Latte and Cooks of Crocus Hill, plus a great stretch of places to eat that came back strong after the 2025 road closure. I will circle back to this spot a little bit later when we talk about shopping. From top chef restaurants to big food markets, St. Paul punches way above its weight here. Con number 4, limited public transit. This con catches people off guard, especially those coming from bigger cities. You're going to need a car for the most part in St. Paul. Now, the bus and the train system, they're definitely getting better. There has been real progress here. The Metro Gold Line opened in March of 2025. It runs from downtown St. Paul to Woodbury through bus-only lanes. The B Line opened in June of 2025, and the E Line started at the end of 2025. The Green Line extension is adding about 14.5 miles to the train system with an opening around 2027. So yes, things are getting better. But right now, most parts of St. Paul, you still need a car to go to get groceries, go to work, and everyday stuff. So if you're moving from a place where you've never owned a car, you need to make sure you plan for that. You need to budget for it. St. Paul is working on it, but it's not completely there yet. Pro number 4, rich arts and cultural scene. St. Paul is really Minnesota's cultural home base. Let me prove it to you. The Science Museum of Minnesota sits right on the river. It has big exhibits, an Omni Theater, and events going on all year round. The Minnesota Historical Center has hands-on exhibits, talks, and a big library, all just a few blocks from the state capitol. The Minnesota Children's Museum just got a major renovation back in 2017, the first since it opened in 1995. That update brought a 4-story climbing structure called the Scramble and 10 new exhibits. Then there are the events. The St. Paul Winter Carnival has been going on since 1886. It has ice sculptures, snow carvings, a medallion hunt, parades, and more. The 2027 one runs January 28th through February 7th. Before we talk about diversity when it comes to entertainment, here's some more. The Minnesota State Fair brought in nearly 2 million people alone in 2025. More average people per day than any state fair in the whole entire country. Summer Nights in Rice Park has free live music in downtown St. Paul from June through September. For a city this size, that's really a packed calendar, to be frank. Con number 5, less retail and entertainment diversity. But there's a flip side to this. This one doesn't come up much, but people who live in St. Paul, they feel it a little bit. There's no big upscale mall or shopping center here. If you want specialty stores, name brand shopping, or a lot of choices, you're probably crossing the river. Now, Grand Avenue is the best option St. Paul has for shopping and eating in one place. It's walkable, it has charm, and there are some really good spots there for both shopping and eating. But it's small. It's not really a full shopping experience. So if you need a specific store on a Tuesday, you're probably not finding it in St. Paul. It's probably right in the surrounding suburbs, which are pretty convenient to get to. People who are used to having everything nearby will notice that gap. It's something to plan for though, for sure, especially if you like to see, touch, and feel stuff before you buy it. So pro number 5, excellent higher education. So one more really good strong point going for St. Paul. It has a lot of great colleges right inside the city limits. First is Macalester College in the Mac Groveland area. It is ranked in the top group of its kind in the whole country with around 2,000 students. Next, the University of St. Thomas is right here in St. Paul too. All 5 schools and the associated colleges of the Twin Cities let students take classes at each other's campuses. That includes Hamline University and St. Catherine University, both right here in the city. The University of Minnesota in Minneapolis is also reachable by the Green Line train from downtown St. Paul. Having that many schools in one city does something good, very good. It brings energy, events, and lots of curious, motivated people into neighborhoods. Mac Groveland especially has a feel that comes straight from having Macalester sitting right inside of it. So overall, St. Paul has a lot of great things going for it. The beautiful homes, parks, the food scene, but it's also a city that asks things of you. You probably really do need a car, and you need to be patient with the roads because the potholes can be a mess. You need to be okay with a slower pace and fewer shopping options. If you've watched and thought, that sounds like my kind of place, we'd love to help you buy and relocate to St. Paul. Send us an email to team@hhgus.com today. We can talk you through what fits your budget and your timeline. Now, if you're still curious about St. Paul, watch this next video. I'll take you on a drive around downtown so you get a feel for yourself. I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in the next video and at the next house.